Hey everyone, how are you? In this video, we are going to solve the Leetcode problem of the day, and the problem is maximum unique subarray sum after deletion. Now, the problem category is of easy level, but I see that the acceptance rate in the problem is pretty low. It is around 34%, which shouldn't be the case for easy questions. So, I'm not sure where people are failing, but let's try to tackle all the different test cases and let us see how we can solve this particular problem. So, in this problem, we are given an integer array nums and we are allowed to delete any number of elements from nums array without making it empty. So here we got two information. We can delete elements, but we cannot make our array empty. After performing all the deletions, we need to select a sub array of nums such that all the elements in the sub array are unique and the sum of elements in the sub array is maximized. And then we need to return the maximum sum of that particular sub array. It means that we are given an integer array nums. We need to remove all the duplicate values so that our array becomes unique. And why I am telling that? See, the thing is, if you have an array, right? If you have an array, let's say the array is 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 6, 8. Now, if this is your input, the question says that you are allowed to delete any number of elements from nums without making it empty. And after performing the deletions, we need to select a sub array of nums. And we need to select it such that we can maximize the sum of the elements in our subarray, and then we need to return the maximum sum of that subarray. See, the thing is, if we want to maximize the sum of a subarray, we need to select the maximum numbers which can add into our sum, right? Here you will notice that if I select this subarray 6, 8, the sum is going to be 14. But what if I select this particular subarray? It is going to be 15, right? If I select this particular subarray, it is going to be 19, and if I select this particular subarray, it is going to be 21. Now I cannot select this one, and the reason is in this particular sub array I have this one, I have this particular one, both are same, and we want to select a sub array which is unique, right? So the simple thing is, try to select all the elements of the array, but do not select it twice or do not select it multiple times. So it's like saying that I want to remove all the duplicate values from my array, right? Now let's try to do it. As of now we have the nums, right? Let's make it equal to the set of nums. That is, we are creating a set of our given integer array nums, and now our nums array is going to have all the unique values. So if we select the whole array in which we have just unique values, then the sum is going to be the maximum, right? Well, as of now it seems like this is the case. We are going to see more cases going ahead. Now we need to find the sum of this array nums, right? So we can convert our set into a list. I can say n for n in this set, right? So it is basically a list now, a list from the set of nums, and now I can take the sum of this. So I can say sum of this particular list and return nums, right? Now before I submit this, let me run the particular code, and I have put some extra test cases to show you that why the acceptance rate of this problem is a bit less. So if I submit this code, you will see that case number 1 and case number 2 are fine, but case 3, 4 and 5, these are not fine. These are wrong answers. And the reason is a lot of people are not looking into the constraints which says that our number can be negative, right? And when the number can be negative, for example, if the numbers are 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 7, -2, right? Here you will notice that if we remove all the duplicate values, we can see that this 1 is multiple times, right? So if we take the sum of nums, since we need to remove the duplicate values and find a subarray which has all unique values, so I can remove these two ones. Basically, if I take the set, these two ones will be removed. Now my numbers are all unique, but I have a negative number. Here you will notice that if you select the complete sub array, right? Basically the complete array itself is a sub array, right? So I can say 4 plus 5 is 9, then plus 1 is 10, then plus 7 is 17, and then -2 is 15. So the sum of the whole array is 15, but instead of that, after removing all the duplicate values, I can select this particular sub array 4, 5, 1, 7, because 4 plus 5 is 9, then plus 1 is 10, then plus 7 is 17. I don't want to include this -2 because now my sum is going to decrease, and we need to return the maximum sum of the sub array, right? So this is going to be our sub array 4, 5, 1 and 7, and the sum is going to be 17. But right now what we are doing is we are just selecting all the numbers in our set, right? So from here we can understand that if we have a negative values, do not select it in the list, do not add it in the sum, right? So what we can do is we can add one more condition while converting our set back to the list. We can say if n is more than equal to 0. I mean, I can say if n is more than 0 or equal to 0, because 0 is not going to harm, 0 is not going to contribute either positive or negative in our sum, right? So I can say now this looks good, right? Let's try this. If I just run this, then maybe few more test cases could be passed. I can see that test case number 1, 2, 3 and 5 is passed, but still case number 4 is not passed. And I will tell you the reason. In test case number 3, you will see that this is our input, right? First of all, we are creating a set out of this. First of all, we are creating a set, right? So we are removing all the duplicate values. So in the input where we have some negative values, when we remove the duplicate values, let me just copy this input and then paste it here. And if I just remove the duplicate values, we are going to have 1, then 2, then -1, then -2, then we have 1 which will not be included, then we have 0 which we can include, and then we have -1, right, which we don't need to include because this is already in our set. So now this is a set, right? When we convert it back to a list, what we are doing is we are saying that let me select 1 because it is positive, let me select 2 because it is positive, let me select 0. Our condition is n more than equal to 0, right? So from the given array, we are able to extract 1, 2 and 0, and for the case number 3, the output is 3, which was expected as 3 as well, and that is because our final array is 1 to 0. So now the question is, how did we got 1 to 0 from this particular array? See, the thing is, we are allowed to delete any number of elements, right? So what we did was we deleted the negative values, right? First of all, we deleted the duplicate values, so we deleted 1, right? And then we deleted -1 because those are repeating values or duplicate values. Then what we are doing is, when we say that this is the condition to select the list, we are saying that we are deleting the values which are less than 0, or we are just selecting the values which are more than equal to 0. So we are deleting these two values, right? Once you delete these two values, you have this particular array 1 to 0, and you can take the sum, which is fine. The test case number 3 is fine, right? Test case 2 and 1 both are all positive, so they are completely fine. Test case number 5 is also fine because in this we have some negative values and a 0. So all the negative values will be removed. Our array will have just one value, which is 0, and the output is 0, which was expected as 0. But the test case number 4 has all the negative values. Now you need to understand here that you are allowed to delete any number of elements, which is fine, but you cannot make the array empty. As of now, if we try to run this particular input on our code, the output is 0, but the expected is -1, and I will tell you why. Let us say all the negative values are -1, -2 and -1. What we are doing is we are saying that first of all, we are not allowing any duplicates. So we will remove -1. This will be done by this particular code set of nums. And then we are saying that we will convert it back to a list, but only we will keep those numbers which are more than equal to 0. So as of now, no values are more than equal to 0. So the list will be empty, and we are told that we cannot make it empty. We cannot delete all the elements such that it becomes empty. So it means that for this particular case in which all the elements are negative, we have to deal with this particular case in a different manner. So what we can understand is, if all the elements are negative, right, we need to return the maximum sum of that subarray. What if I take the subarray as -1, -2? If I take this subarray, my sum will be -3, right? -1 plus -2 will be -3. If I take the complete array, we have a duplicate value, right? So we have a duplicate here, right? So we cannot take the complete array as a subarray. If I try to take just one element, which is -2, as a subarray, then the sum will be -2, which is better than -1 and -2, because this particular subarray sum was -3. But what if I just take -1? The sum of this subarray will be -1. -1 is the highest among all these three sums, right? So I will take this particular subarray in which I have just one element, which is -1. So from here we can have the intuition that if all the numbers are negative, I can just take the maximum element of my array. Since I know that all the elements are negative, if I just select the one element which is maximum, because if I select two elements, my sum is going to decrease because all the numbers are negative. So I will take just one element, and apart from that one element, I will delete all other elements, right? Because we are allowed to delete any number of elements. So I will delete all elements except one, and I will keep that one element which is the highest, right? So how can we implement this? I can say that, first of all, let me try to find out the maximum value from my given array nums. M is equal to max of nums, and if m is less than 0, m will be less than 0 only if all the elements in my nums is negative, right? Because m is the maximum of all the elements of nums. So if m is less than 0, I can say return m, that is return the maximum value from my array. That is because all the elements are negative. Just take one element which is the maximum and return it. So this is going to take care of the case where we have all the negative values, right? And now let us try to run the code. I'm not submitting this, let us just run it. For now, all the different 5 test cases are passed. So now it seems to be a good solution, in which I have first checked for all negative values, and then if all the values are not negative, then I took the set of my nums, converted it back to a list where we only include elements which are more than equal to 0, take the sum and return it. Now you can submit this, and this should pass all the test cases. And yes, all the test cases are passed, and the runtime is good, the memory used is good. So we have solved this particular problem in a very efficient manner. So now I understand, guys, why the acceptance rate of the problem is less, because even though we know how to solve it, we can solve it, it's easy, but we are not giving a lot of importance to different test cases, and we are directly just doing the code and submitting this, and then we realize that no, we are not covering all the test cases. So which is completely fine, but I try to cover the video in such a way that you try to build the intuition of how you can cover different test cases for this particular problem. So that's it for this video, guys. If this video helps you to understand the problem and the solution approach and the intuition behind it, then make sure that you hit that like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel as of now, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. I want to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this video, guys.